Hi everyone, I'm Herrgott, pianist and composer, and on this channel we talk about composition. Recently I released a new tune on YouTube called Canin'Love. It's a song that I dedicated to my two dogs, Lola and Misty. So what's the story of Canin'Love? First of all, I wanted to compose some easy listening music because I've been composing quite a lot of piano music recently and some of the tunes are quite hard to play. So I wanted to compose something like the Kinderszenen of Schumann, something a little bit easier to play and also to listen to. And in this style, the best I know is Chilly González. And what I like about Chilly González is that it can really combine easy listening, great catchy melodies, and at the same time, something quite sophisticated. So after listening a lot to his albums, especially the 3 albums in piano solo, I noticed some elements, some musical ideas that I could use in my compositions. For instance, many times he's playing left hands like that. For instance, this tune. I never really used left hands like that because it reminds me a little bit of D'Alberti bass, something that Mozart used a lot. And for me it was a little bit outdated. But I wanted to give it a try and use that with one of my compositions. And then the second thing, I wanted to find an easy melody to play and to remember. A catchy melody, because in a composition, the melody is everything, because you can just sing it. So I imagined a very simple rhythm, something joyful, syncopated, tak-a-da-da, tak-a-da-da, tak-a-da-da. So I decided to compose something in F minor. And then developed. It reminds me a little bit of this disco song. I don't remember the name, but if you remember, please let me know in the comments. And so on. I really like this harmony because this is very emotional. So that's how I came with at least the beginning of this tune. I will play it for you. And then I just found something a little bit less ta-ta-da, ta-ta-da, but I still wanted it to be syncopated. So tam-pa-de-tam-pam, tim-pa-de-tam-pam. You can notice also that here, on this, what is supposed to be a dominant, I chose to stay modal. Because I think it was more tasty. More than. Then I repeat the melody. For me, repetition is very, very important. But at the same time, what is very, very important also is that when you repeat, you should never play exactly the same thing. And if it's written exactly the same way, at least when you interpret it, try to find something different dynamics, different phrasing, but never repeat exactly the same thing. That's at least my philosophy. So I repeat it, first of all, 1 octave higher, and you can see that in my left hand, I also incorporate some tensions. I give some importance to some specific voices. The bass, and then the tenor. Polyphony is so important in music, but at the same time, it's difficult to concentrate on all the voices at the same time. That's why I try regularly to point out some melodic movements here and there. For instance, when the melody is not busy, then I try to give some more importance to the bass first, but also sometimes to the tenor or the alto part. Let's play this re-exposition of the theme. Octave, bass, octave, tenor, and what I like also a lot is to make the bass melodic. For instance, here you see I could have played but it's boring. When the bass is melodic, something is happening. And here I want for the first time to use really special effects using dynamics. And also major 7 chord and minor 6. This chord progression is just fantastic. It reminds me a little bit of this tune. I don't remember the name of this tune. That's something I think I played at the very, very beginning when I was learning piano. So back to Canin'Love. Oh, there is a lot of things to say. First of all, you have this motif transposed. It's almost like two voices in one melody, like in Bach's music most of the time. And the bass is following these movements. And in the middle, I try to have those just dissonance, small dissonances. And one of my favorite chords, this one. Just fantastic. Okay, let's repeat that. And that's quite emotional. You see, I try to alternate between two different moods. Something quite funny, innocent, playful, and something quite nostalgic. I think it's a great combo. And then the bridge. When Chili Gonzalez is composing music, most of the time it's a AABA form. And usually, if the A is in major, the B will be minor and vice versa. In Canin'Love, the main melody is F minor. Now I try to bring a little bit more major colors. And here it's simply is basically a dialogue between melody and bass, and the other voices are just filling the space. always with this dissonance. Actually, I found out that in my music, I always like to have and maybe even this kind of interval. But I will talk about this interval in other videos because this one, this apparently ugly interval became one of my favorite, and I will tell you why. But in this tune, I use mainly dissonances of seconds. Okay, let's go back to same thing but transposed. Watch my series of videos on Chili Gonzalez and you will see how he likes to use like surprising harmonies. What can I find here to surprise? Always the same motif but in a different context. So what did I do here? I end up on like the dominant of A flat, but suddenly I go to E. I love this chord progression. I keep one note and I try to go in some other keys. I use this in my prelude called Mother's Heart. It goes like this. See, I am in A flat, but I use this E chord. Going back to Canin'Love. I play between E and F minor. Same thing, 1 octave lower. And then there is a cadenza. When I repeat that 1 octave lower, you can hear this voice on alto. And that's what makes music sophisticated. I could have played just but with that, the melody is the most important, but always give some importance to other voices because they will help emphasizing the melody, they will help decorating or making this melody even more beautiful. Especially if it brings some tension release. Tension, release, tension, release. And before going back to this melody, I had in mind that I wanted to have a cadenza. Something like in a concert or something like that. But before, I wanted to have something very emotional. And what is really emotional? A minor 6 chord. And in the middle voices, I always keep some tension, some dissonances. It's quite classical, but I really like that. It's a dominant of a kind of a dominant 7 chord with a 7th on bass. Let's play the bridge again. Storytelling. one octave lower. Emotional. Preparing the cadenza with some serious chords. You see this melodic bass again. And that's very dramatic. And then the cadenza, beginning with the minor harmonic scale, what we call Phrygian dominant. It's just a minor harmonic scale beginning from the fifth. So if it's F minor harmonic, so beginning from the C, then minor melodic, and then dominant flat 9 to go back to the melody. And as I said before, each time I repeat, I want to find something new. So for the exposition, I will split this melody into. It would be repeated one octave higher. So it's like a dialogue between two voices. Let's see that with the harmonies. The bass, tenor, here I play with extreme emotional chords in minor with major chords, like major 6, the bass chord. And that's also one of the best chords. It's a major chord, first inversion with a ninth. That's very melodic, and at the same time, you have this dissonance. That's always something I use, some very sweet movements, but at the same time, always a dissonance, something that will create a good balance. It's like cooking, you want something good, but something a little bit spicy. You know, I live in Thailand, it must be spicy somehow. Going back to Canin'Love, to this passage. I go back one octave lower. And of course, I wanted to quote a little bit Chili Gonzalez, because Chili Gonzalez is always using some elements of blues. And here, what is more bluesy than... Here is a tritone substitution. If you don't know what it is, simply, oh, that's complex. Maybe one day I will make a video just for that. But on a dominant, you can just switch to the tritone on bass. Just listen to Harmonic. You have that all the time. I don't know if I can remember this tune that he did, but... something like that. He's always using those kind of harmonies. And the coda. With those very cinematic harmonies. This effect is very easy to achieve. If you are in a major key, for instance A flat, you just play on A flat the major chord that is one tone up. And as always, find a little movement that will make this even more interesting. And I finish in the high register with a beautiful chord structure that I like. Fifth. You could easily write an introduction with those chords. So that was my tutorial on Canin'Love. If you have any question, please let me know in the comments. To listen to the whole song, of course, it is on YouTube. The link will appear here or here or here. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you learned a lot. Please let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe because, you know, the algorithms are quite cruel with us. So let's fight. And let's create other videos like this. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'm looking forward to see you again soon. And as always, good sharing of your talent.